Hey YouTube and all my subscribers, JC18904 here, new video for you guys today. I got a big update here. I need to set a pop bottle down. Here's what's been going on. As you guys know, I got a Suzuki Ltz400 now, and I've been having some problems with it. And I'll tell you guys about the symptoms and what was causing it. First symptom we done was run a spark test, and it wouldn't get no spark at all. So what we done was clean the ground and the coil connections up here underneath the gas tank. You have to take the gas tank off to get to the coil. So we cleaned up the coil and the grounds and all that up there. Come up here, because the idiots that had it cut the connections off for this. So we had to wire it straight. So I got all that done. Well, actually my dad done it while I helped him hold the wires apart so he could solder them. So got all that done, and we got pretty much fed up because we couldn't figure out why it wasn't getting a spark. So I told my dad, let me take a look at it. And come down here, look at the ground connections for the coil and stuff like that on this connection here, and found out the wire was almost broke off. So I told my dad, found out two problems. It was this ground wire here, which is yellow and black wire connection to this gray plug-in, and you come over here on this side, you have your ground that comes up off of this here. So this wire here is almost broke off. So we took and put a new connection here, cleaned up the ground, come up here, wired that straight, that wire I told you guys about right there, it's broke off. Cleaned the connections on this just to make sure that they were clean, which it turned out everything was fine, the fuse was fine. So put a battery down it, put a charger on it, fired up, but it wouldn't run very good. We had to keep squirting starting fluid and sit there and sputter and backfire and carry on. So figured out the carburetor needs cleaned. Took the carburetor apart, it was clogged up bad. So another thing, this here wasn't hooked up because I couldn't find this hose because it was hidden. So took the carburetor apart. The carburetor is black inside. I mean, just fine dirt. So took the carburetor apart. Had one of my friends take a bucket of Ken Dip. He took the carburetor apart, cleaned it, put it all back together for me. So I took it apart because it still wouldn't run. Actually, it wouldn't run at all then. It acts like everything was out of whack, the float level and the fuel level. So it acts like it wasn't getting no fuel, and it didn't want to start. So it took and was messing around with the float level, see if it was getting level. Instead, the gas was going into here, building up, pushing back through the intake, coming out of the air cleaner box. So had that problem, and then took it apart. I cleaned it, put it back together, cleaned out some holes that were down here where your butterfly meets. There's like 3 holes in there. Cleaned that out with a fine tooth piece of wire brush. So got that all unclogged and everything. Cleaned all the jets. Wanted to run, but not very good. So took the diaphragm off, looked at it, it was fine. Looked at the jets, they were still plugged up, like something's getting into the fuel. So went and got a Raptor 660 Pitcock, put on it, and took the inline fuel filter out of line because it was causing some of the problem. Then cleaned out this fuel tube here because it had all kinds of rust. Cleaned the diaphragm and this thing here, this air cutoff valve. Cleaned that, cleaned the air cleaner, hooked it all back up, got it running after we put a Shindy carburetor rebuild kit in it. And let me tell you, it runs great, you guys. Also put this antifreeze here in it. This is diluted antifreeze, like what they call for aluminum engines. It's like an orange color. You can get it at AutoZone. It's in a silver jug. So got all that cleaned up. Starts up, runs great. No problems with it at all. And then I had to get maybe a timing chain for it because the timing chain seems like it's kind of bad. But we couldn't get the starter to turn over the first time we were doing it. We took this cover here off and this cover and turned the engine. The engine was free. The starter was kind of binding a little bit, so we took and cleaned that up a little bit. I think we pulled the starter off, I'm not exactly sure, but got the starter working and everything great. And the guy that we got off of said this tank here was busted for the oil. Well, it turns out it was already full, and he was just overfilling it, and he thought it was busted. So that turned out it wasn't busted, so that's great. And then the next thing we done was we couldn't get no brakes on it when we were working on the carburetor. Took this caliper here off, it was real dirty. And then the only thing I had to get for it is a connection that connects there on the top of the radiator, that one sensor there. I had to get one of them because it's broke off to whoever had it before. I actually need to go through eBay and look at the wiring harness and see if I can match up what color connection plugs into that thing there. But right now I'm just using a paper clip on the bottom thing to make the fan just run to cool it. So that's just running all the time when we kick the key on. So that's just a little bypass thing you could do temporary if you have messed up like we are on that. That's just to whoever had it before, but that's what we got set up right now. So what else I done was this throttle cable was froze up. This clutch cable wasn't froze up, so that was good. But we put took this lid off, put some oil down the cable, and just sit there and work the cable a little bit, and eventually loosened up. But the wire was really froze up because the butterfly was seized up inside that carburetor. It had all kinds of white stuff sealing it up, so we got that cleaned up pretty good. But plastic wise, we took and used scouring powder, dish soap, and SOS pads on it, and went all over the plastic, you guys. And let me tell you, it turned out great. But the plastic is bruised, which I don't really care about because you could barely see it when you're looking at it in the sun. But you can see it when you got in the shade where it's bruised at, like right here. It's bruised a little bit, and then here. But I have to do some more cleaning on this thing, get it all shined up. Maybe I can get that bruising out with a heat gun or something, maybe, like they show online. But this is what it's looking like so far. It's looking great. We brought it up on the off the back walk so I could work on it. And the cherry bomb's the only reason it's on it because I want to get an HMF and put it on it for now. But this cherry bomb is just to quiet down, and it's doing the job actually. So that's just temporary. But I found out it's got a 520 chain on it. The gearing in the back here is a 40-tooth Sunnister rear sprocket, and the front's a 13 because they were using it for racing. They flipped the front wheels on it, and I had to do some straightening out there because one wheel's off from each other, but I had to get that straightened out. They flipped the front wheels too, and it's got real wide stance in the front end. Actually, it sticks almost halfway past the back wheels. But got W something Nerf bars on it. They're heavy duty, they're oversized. Actually, nice looking Nerf bars. I like these ones a lot. And then the only thing we had to do, we found an oil leak where someone JB welded this, and they didn't do a very good job. So we're going to fix that and get that bypassed, and I can actually still use a chain cover on it, maybe. But I do some snugging up here and there, and get everything lined up. Get this wiring harness out of the way. Make sure it's up out of the road, not touching the chain. Make sure all the rollers are fine. I checked the bottom one, it's good. And the transmission seems pretty good. Had to get up in the road, do a test run of it, and see how it's going to run. But the suspension works great. Had to get some fender braces for the front. That's why the plastic ain't on the front of it, because it just hangs on there. The headlight, I know one headlight works, but I don't know about the other one. I have to get that straightened out. Everything works fine. Everything's charging. CDI is great. But I need to know if this is a stock CDI. It looks like it had some tape or some kind of sticker on it. Can't tell. but it looks like an aftermarket one to me. But if you guys could let me know if that's an aftermarket CDI. But it's real skinny up here and gets real thick back here. It's got like a little bit of a lip edge there, or a step from here to here. So it's kind of weird looking CDI unit. But I got a tail light and everything for it. I just need to figure out what I'm missing back here. I got the bracket. I ordered it off of eBay. Comes off of here, comes down. But I need to know if there's some kind of rubber garment to go to the tail light or something. But I got an aftermarket LED tail light for it, so it's a little bit more brighter than the stock one. So hopefully that there will work. But let me know if you guys or show me your guys' tail lights on the Z400, and maybe I can get some idea what I'm missing. And if you guys have any problems, just check what I told you guys about. The grounds here, on here, then the yellow and black wire and that gray connection there. If that's broke, because that could be broke where something's come up and hit it. So you want to check that. And get a climber work manual. They're very helpful for these quads. I got one for my Warrior, and it's pretty helpful. I'm going to have to write some specs down on this one here, because this one here's got a little bit more different jetting than what the book shows, because they were racing and everything. It had a White Brothers on it originally. So I had to get some more information written down on this beast, and I'll have a running video maybe Sunday to show you guys how it's running and everything. Man, it's loud. But comment, like, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more updates on this monster, and we'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. And check out Did Racing wheels. They're very nice wheels. They're heavy duty. Alright, we'll see you guys later. Peace.